This is one of those testimonies that sends chills down your spine, not because of what's proven, but because of what's said in real time. Imagine receiving a video call from someone who calmly tells you they just tried to kill someone, that there's blood on their clothes, and that they're about to end their own life. That's exactly what unfolds in this gripping courtroom moment. At the center of this testimony is a witness recounting two FaceTime calls that prosecutors will likely argue reveal intent, mindset, and possible confession. But here's the twist. Everything hinges on memory, credibility, and how much weight the jury places on these statements. Listen closely, because the details matter, the timing, the wording, even the emotional reactions. Was this a confession, a cry for help, or something else entirely? And more importantly, how would you respond if you were on the other end of that call? Let's break it all down.
On the morning of March 24th, 2025, did you receive any calls from either Ariel or the defendant?
I did.
Okay. And which was it?
From the defendant.
Who contacted who?
Defendant contacted me.
What type of call was it?
A FaceTime call.
When you say FaceTime call, is that on the Apple iPhone?
Correct.
Was this call a FaceTime voice call or a FaceTime video call?
FaceTime video call.
How many times or how many calls were there from the defendant to you on March 24th, 2025?
2.
And what times were the 2 calls at?
I couldn't recall exactly.
Did you provide a statement to a Maui detective
I did.
regarding this incident, regarding those calls?
Yes.
And in that statement, did you tell the detective what time those calls were?
Yes, I did.
Would seeing that statement help you refresh your recollection as to when those 2 calls were?
It would.
Okay. I'll pull a page number here. Okay, I'm going to approach with what's been marked as State's Exhibit 170. Page number 3 and page number 4. Okay, may I approach? Please. Okay. Emil, could you quickly read pages 3 and 4 of this document? And when you're done reading, just look up, okay? Is your recollection refreshed as to when those 2 calls were?
It is.
Okay, I'm going to retrieve the exhibit, and then I'm going to ask you the same question again, okay? All right, I'm going to retrieve Exhibit 170 from you. Okay, and Emil, what time were those 2 video FaceTime calls on March 24th, 2025?
The first one was at 10:42 a.m. and the second one was at 11:46 a.m.
On the morning of March 24th, 2025, did you receive any calls from either Ariel or the defendant? I did. Asterisk. Now this is where things start getting very precise in court. Precision is everything. Notice how the witness couldn't initially recall the exact times of the calls, but after reviewing a prior statement, suddenly provides exact timestamps. 10:42 a.m. and 11:46 a.m. This is a classic courtroom technique called refreshing recollection. It's completely legal, but it also raises an important question. Are these memories truly independent or influenced by prior documentation? Jurors often pay very close attention to moments like this. Also, think about the prosecution's strategy there, anchoring the timeline early. Why? Because once a timeline is locked in, it becomes much easier to build a narrative around intent and sequence of events. So here's something to consider. Does this make the testimony stronger because it's documented or weaker because it needed prompting?
The first one was at 10:42 a.m. and the second one was at 11:46 a.m.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about the call from 10:42 a.m. first, okay? All right. Where were you when you got the FaceTime video call at 10:42 a.m.?
At home.
That's the same address we talked about earlier.
Correct.
What did you see on the other side of the screen when you picked up that call?
I saw the defendant.
Can you describe the defendant as you saw him on that call?
Wearing sunglasses, dry fit shirt. That's all I saw.
Did you see the area that the defendant was in?
Outside.
And did the defendant tell you anything during that call?
Yes.
What did the defendant tell you during that call, as close to word for word as you can remember?
That he would not be making it back to Maui and to take good care of the younger kids.
The first one was at 10:42 a.m. and the second one was at 11:46 a.m. Okay, asterisk. This is the moment that changes everything. Witness claims the defendant said he tried to kill Ariel. That's not vague. That's not implied. That's direct. Incredibly serious. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite such a major statement, there are no details. No explanation of what happened, no confirmation of Ariel's condition, no location, just a claim and silence. Around it, in legal terms, this could be seen as an admission, but the lack of detail opens the door for defense arguments. Was this statement literal, exaggerated, emotional? And let's not ignore the emotional weight here at the witnesses hearing this live. During a video call, while also being told the defendant might jump off a cliff. That's a lot to process in real time. Ask yourself, would you treat this as a confession or as a distressed person saying extreme things?
Younger kids, and that my stepmom had been cheating on him, and that he tried to kill her.
Okay. That's a lot, but I'm going to break that down a little bit. You said the defendant told you he tried to kill Ariel, is that right?
Correct.
Did he tell you what happened to Ariel?
He did not.
Okay. Did he tell you where she went?
No.
Did the defendant tell you why he tried to kill Ariel?
No.
During this 10:42 a.m. call, did the defendant tell you anything about what he planned to do next?
During that call, the next plan that he said was to jump off the cliff.
And how did you react to hearing that?
Told him not to.
How did you react to the defendant telling you he tried to kill Ariel?
I don't remember what I said.
Do you recall what the defendant told you after he said he tried to kill Ariel?
Not directly after.
Okay. Did he say where Ariel went?
No, just away.
What did he say about Ariel and away?
He said that she had gotten away, and that was all I heard about her location.
That's a lot, but I'm going to break that down a little bit. Asterisk. Did you catch that? The witness says they saw what looked like splatters on the defendant's shirt tanned when asked. Defendant allegedly responded, "Oh, it's just her." That's a chilling statement. If believed, it directly ties physical evidence blood to the alleged act. But here's the key issue. This is still secondhand testimony. There's no forensic confirmation being presented here yet. Just what was seen over a FaceTime call in court. Visuals matter, but so does reliability. Video quality, lighting, perception, all of these can be challenged. The defense could argue misinterpretation, poor visibility, or even emotional bias affecting what the witness thought they saw. So now the stakes are even higher. You've got a claimed confession and a possible visual indicator, but is it enough? Or is it still too uncertain?
During this first call at 10:42 a.m., did you ask the defendant any questions yourself?
Yes. I asked what was on his shirt because it looked like I saw splatters of something on his shirt, and he said, "Oh, it's just her," meaning Aries' blood.
Okay. So far you've told us that the defendant told you he tried to kill Ariel, that Ariel got away, that Ariel was cheating on him, that he planned to jump, and that the blood on the shirt he's told you was Ariel's. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, did I miss anything so far?
No.
Okay. Did he tell you anything else during this call at 10:42 a.m.?
No.
All right. So Emil, after you get this FaceTime call and after the defendant tells you these things, what did you do?
I went over to my grandparents' house, which is Ariel's parents.
Okay.
Walked over to their house, told them what had happened.
How far away is your grandparents' house away from the Pu'uehu place address you mentioned earlier?
It's like a minute or so walk.
And could you tell us your grandparents' names?
Judith and Peter Mast.
Which of your grandparents did you tell about the call first?
Both. They were both there, so both of them.
What happened after you told Judith and Peter Mast about this 10:42 a.m. call?
The next notable thing is they received a phone call from, I believe it was Queens Hospital, one of the hospitals here.
Later on that day, did you tell anybody else what the defendant told you?
My mom,
Who's your mom?
Jessie Patelare.
Did you at some point also tell the police what happened that day?
I did.
All right. Do you know where your grandparents ended up going after you told them about this call?
Yeah, here.
They came to Oahu?
Correct.
Okay. All right. You said that there was a second call at 11:46. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. The second call, was this a FaceTime call as well?
Yes.
Okay. And just audio or audio and video?
Audio and video.
Did you pick up the call?
I did.
When you picked up this second call at 11:46.
Meaning Aries' blood. Okay. Asterisk, the second call adds another layer, and it's all about state of mind. The defendant repeatedly says he's going to jump, asks if anyone's been told, and seems increasingly aware that police may be involved. This is critical because prosecutors often use statements like these to establish consciousness of guilt. If someone believes the police are coming and talks about escaping or ending their life, it can be interpreted as awareness of wrongdoing. But again, there's another side. The defense could argue this reflects panic, mental distress, or even suicidal ideation unrelated to guilt. Remember, the witness also mentions the defendant had been thinking about suicide for months. So here's the big question. Does this behavior point to guilt or to someone spiraling emotionally?
At
You think?
11:46. What did you see on the screen?
I saw the defendant.
Okay. And can you describe any background that you saw on the scene, if you remember?
Just trees, rocks, the sky. That was it.
During this second phone call at 11:46, what did the defendant tell you, if anything?
He asked me if I had told anybody, and I said yes, and I told him who I had told. And then he said that he was just going to jump, and said that a couple times.
Okay. To be super exact here, Emil, who did you tell the defendant that you told?
I told the that I told my grandparents and my mother.
Okay. So you told them that you told Peter, Judy, and Jesse.
Correct.
Okay. So after the defendant told you he was going to jump a couple times during the second call, how did you respond?
Same way as before. Said not to. I don't know.
You told the defendant not to jump.
Right.
Okay. How did the second call end?
With him saying, with the defendant saying, I'm going to go before the police catch me.
Did he tell you he was going to hang up? Do you remember that? I'm sorry.
Objection leading.
Sustain.
Bad question. Go ahead. All right. Sorry. I just want to clarify, Emil, about the last thing you told me about the police. What exactly did the defendant tell you about the police?
Asked and answered.
Could you clarify what the defendant told you about the police?
Okay, to be super exact here. Emil, who did you tell the defendant that you told? Asterisk, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. This testimony revolves around two critical FaceTime calls that allegedly include a confession, references to violence, and threats of suicide. The prosecution is clearly building a narrative of intent, awareness, and aftermath. But there are still major questions. There's no direct evidence presented here, only what was said and perceived during those calls. The defense will likely challenge memory reliability, emotional interpretation, and lack of corroborating details. This case highlights how powerful and complicated witness testimony can be. It can shape the entire direction of a trial, but it also leaves room for doubt, interpretation, and debate. So now it's your turn. Do you believe this testimony is strong enough to stand on its own? Or does it raise more questions than answers? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.